Hey there. This week's show is brought to you by NOBSBooks.com. It's the official online source where you can find the entire collection of Glaser Kennedy books. Find out all about it by clicking on the banner on this page. This week we have a really special show for you. We have a special interview with the professor of harsh reality himself, Dan Kennedy, on location at his home in Cleveland. I'm going to talk to you about toilet tissue talk. It's a new outrageous advertising item that wipes out the competition, and an answer to a question from a Glaser Kennedy Gold Luxury member and No BS Live TV viewer. Welcome to No BS Live. This is a place for prosperity without the bull. Well, I'm wearing another one of my Tulliano shirts, and yes, this one is supposed to be wrinkled. That's the look of the shirt. People are calling the office, asking where they can get these shirts. Go to your local menswear store and ask them for Tulliano shirts. A few weeks ago, Mike Hennings, my good friend and the inventor of Traffic Geyser, went on location to Cleveland to talk to Dan Kennedy, to interview him about his newly published book, No BS Wealth Attraction for the New Economy. Sit back, relax. You're going to really enjoy this interview.
Hey Dan, let's talk about your new book, No BS Wealth Attraction in the New Economy. What is it? Who's it for?
The book is a updated version of a very popular previous edition. It is really for any entrepreneur, any business person. It has been updated for the new economy that we are working our way into at the moment. And it is all about how to harness the forces that move money from one person or place to another so that they are all working for you.
All right, so one of the things you talk about in the book is about how the old economy is gone forever and the new economy is taking over. So why don't you explain what the new economy is and what that means and why it's so important and valuable to any kind of business owner?
Well, there's still people waiting for this to come out in the morning and find that the whole storm has left and it's returned to some point, 2006, 2000, 1958, whatever. But they're still waiting for it to go back to what it was, and it's not going to. We have had cataclysmic systemic change. Entire industries have shrunk or been eliminated. Most importantly, we're coming out of this with the consumer back in enormous power. They have all the choice. First of all, hardly anybody needs anything and is going to need anything for a while, which has been part of the problem. They bought everything. And there's been duplicative choice, interchangeable. If you go from a Chili's restaurant to the restaurant across the street that has a different name on it, if they didn't tell you, you couldn't tell the two of them apart.
They're all buying from Cisco.
Yeah, exactly. We've been overstored, over this, over that, right? And so the consumer is in a position of zero tolerance for the ordinary, zero tolerance for poor service. They really are in charge. And in order to do well, we have to adapt to the realities on the ground at the moment and in the foreseeable future.
So one of the things that you talk about in the book are wealth magnets. Why don't you explain what they are and why they're important?
There are 28 of them. Some have to do with how we think. Some have to do with strategy. And some have to do with behavior. And the reason they're all important is because they create a set of conditions that are favorable for opportunity, cooperation of others, and money to be attracted to and move to you. They eliminate obstacles, blocks, barriers, and they create a flow.
Now in a moment, Dan's going to talk about how you can pick up a copy of this new book and how you can actually spend 2 wealth days with Dan. And Dan's actually going to dig deep into applying all the wealth principles that he teaches in the book. But before we get into that, Dan, why don't you talk about your beliefs about money, wealth, and abundance?
Well, my beliefs, first of all, are actually facts. So the facts about wealth, money, and abundance all have to do with the fact that there is no limit to it. It's not a zero-sum game. It's not you get $1, I've lost $1. And all that has to be removed from somebody's thinking. The book talks a lot about wealth inhibition, the ways that through our own thinking, our own attitudes, our own past conditioning, we sabotage the flow of money to us. And when you remove that, then it becomes infinitely easier to achieve whatever financial goals are that you have. Implementing good strategy and good mechanics with that in the way undermines the strategy and the mechanics. And so they're interhooked. You have to get one right before the others can work. The book, you ask about getting the book, well, they can get the book like anywhere except like Dunkin' Donuts. But Barnes & Noble, Borders, Amazon, of course, barnesandnoble.com. So the book is available literally at a bookstore near you or an online bookseller.
Or I'd even imagine maybe a button below this video that we're
You
watching
think?
right now.
I'll
I'd think
say
so,
your
yeah.
department, not
Yeah.
mine. And the Wealth Days opportunity, which is limited, but the 2 days are entirely free. There is no fee. The only requirement is a purchase of 35 books to give away to clients, customers, friends, family, relatives. And I have written a report about 10 ways to use gifting the book to effectively promote yourself or your business.
Yeah, that's definitely powerful. And what I can tell you is, I had the benefit of being able to read an early galley of the book, and I poured through it. And part of my preparation and doing all the interviews with you was just looking at all the facts and nuggets in here. And I got to say, if you want an MBA into Dan's mind, this is one of the most powerful ways to get it. All right, well, thanks a ton for this, Dan. And
Thank you.
All right, so the next thing is up to you. Order the book. And Bill, back to you.
As I said before, this week's episode is brought to you by NOBSBooks.com. It is the official online source where you can find out all the Glazer Kennedy books collection, and you want to make sure that you grab a copy of Dan's newest book called No BS Wealth Attraction for the New Economy. It's completely updated from his previous book that he wrote on this topic, and that's available at NOBSBooks.com website, and you can just find out all the details by clicking on the banner on this page. And if you invest in 35 copies of Dan's new book, you can also attend his 2-day live Wealth Days exclusively with Dan Kennedy event for free. Just look for details on this page. So this week's S&D library is another outrageous example. Who better to bring you outrageous examples than me? And it is custom printed toilet tissue. I know, custom printed toilet tissue. Sounds a little strange, but after all, we are no BS here at Glazer Kennedy. And think about it. When you have somebody's attention where they got to pay attention to your marketing message, well, think about it here. Using toilet paper, you got to look at the thing. Usually it's all white. This way you have writing on this. It's going to grab your attention, and people are going to look at it, and it's going to bring a smile to their face, and they're going to remember your marketing message. And you can get your own toilet paper that's printed exclusively for you with your own message on it at justtoiletpaper.com. The link is probably up right now, justtoiletpaper.com. You can go online, you can check it out, figure out how to do your own message, and you can really make a unbelievable, outrageous impact on some of your prospects and customers and have a lot of fun at the same time. This week's question comes from a Gold Luxury member, Jill Harrington. Jill asks, I really love the sales letters that you write. Do you have a formula I can follow for how to write a direct mail letter? Jill, before I answer your question, I want to first thank you for submitting your question on NOBS Live TV webpage. So Jill, I'm sort of sorry there isn't an easy button for crafting a sales letter. I've been crafting sales letters for 20 years now, and but I'm going to give you a couple of really important things to consider. First of all, pay attention for good sales letters. Make swipe files. I keep a swipe file of all of Dan Kennedy's sales letters. He keeps swipe file of all my sales letters. We keep swipe files of other people's sales letters. So we're looking for good sales letters as sort of formulas for helping us to craft a sales letter. The other thing you want to make sure that you do is don't forget to include all important emotional direct response strategies that you have to have in a sales letter. You have to have an offer. You have to have a deadline. You want to have testimonials. You want to have a guarantee. You want to have a deadline for sure. No deadline, no offer. You want to make sure you craft a really compelling headline. The purpose of the headline is to get the reader to want to read the rest of it. Use cosmetic enhancements such as Mike Capuzzi's copy doodles and things like that to make it interesting. Double readership path where there's not all words are created equal. Some words are bigger, like subheadlines that will get people's interest so they'll want to read the rest. If you're creating a sales letter, always have a PS. People know that all the goodies are in the PS, and usually professional copywriters will always use multiple PSs. So that's just sort of a bunch of important things. I do have an online training program that's called Creating Copy That Sells that really walks you through formulaically how to do it, but it takes some study time. It takes most people a weekend or so to really go through all the training, and you can find all that information at the Glazer Kennedy Resource Center, and I believe that there's actually a button on this page that will take you there. But I gave you a lot of the important things to get you started and thinking about in creating a great sales letter. And like Gary Halbert, the great copywriter, said that you're just one sales letter away from total wealth. And that's true. Learning how to write copy is really an important skill for everybody. And if you never write a word of copy, you need to at least understand what good copy is. So if you have other people write it for you, you can make sure that you got great copy. Thanks. Great question. And Jill, as a special thank you, we're going to be sending you this week's Beat the Clock Web Deal of the Week. So Jessica, tell us all about it.
With this week's web deal, discover Dan Kennedy's personal strategies for managing time and increasing productivity, along with strategies he teaches his private coaching clients with the Renegade Millionaire Time Management System. The Renegade Millionaire Time Management System is available this week for 34% off, plus get free shipping. You'll hear an actual detailed micro explanation of how Dan organizes his work, communication, and time to get more done in an hour than most people get done all day, strategies Dan uses to yield instantaneous results, and much more. Beat the clock and invest in your copy of the Renegade Millionaire Time Management System at 34% off plus free shipping before time runs out. Go to dankennedy.com/store or click on the Resource Center banner on this page.
And do you want a chance to have your marketing question answered on air by me personally? Better yet, do you want a chance to win one of our Beat the Clock specials? Well, submit your question by following the link below. Well, that's it for today, folks. And I told you this was a great episode. You actually got to spend some time with Dan Kennedy. And as my special gift for watching, I will be giving you my Renegade Millionaire Marketing System. This is a brand new program that Dan and I took a whole day of our time to recently record and create. And you can have it all for just $1. Just click on the banner on the sidebar for details. And before you leave, check out the sidebar also to see how you can find Glazer Kennedy on Facebook and Twitter. Also, make sure to leave your comments about today's episode below. I'm Bill Glazer, and thanks for tuning in to No BS Live. It's the place for prosperity, but without the bull.